Evening, everyone. It is 5:45 on this Monday afternoon, and this is your closing comment video number 2072. Okay, before I forget, tomorrow morning we have CPI at 8:30. There's nothing much else for tomorrow, but this is a very jam-packed week. We have CPI later in the week. We still have a bunch of earnings that are coming. And we have a bunch of things like Philly Fed, um, Empire State Manufacturing, retail sales. So this should be a very interesting week. So you really have to stay on top of the news. Okay, so today was an interesting day. The Dow was really the only thing that was up, with the exception, notable exception, of the Russell, which was the leader and was the only thing that had a net change of more than a third of 1%. Dow up just around 126 for 0.33. Nasdaq was down 48.12, 0.30. The S&P was down 477 or 0.09. As I said, the Russell up 35.27, 1.75%. And the transports were down a big $5, 0.3%. What was interesting is that the VIX was up over 7.7%. That's 1393, up a full dollar. That's not all that unusual, but of late, it really is kind of a big move. This chart on the screen is the Bitcoin, and as you can see, it is now over 50,000 again, and it is approaching the high that it saw. Oh, well, it hasn't been up here since December of 2021. So a solid 2 years and a couple of months. And MACD looks like it's rolling over a little or trying to, but you know, each day is a higher high, higher low after the pullback, after the move to almost 50,000 last month. So very interesting. The other chart I want to show you is, well, there are two, but let's go with energy. The oil, which was down about $1.75 this morning, finished up on the day. Let's look at this a little closer. Um, the high on Friday was 77.29. Today it was 77.09. So it's an inside day, lower high, higher low. We're still bouncing off this 200-week moving average. It looks to me like, even though open interest seems to be moving lower, we're running along the bottom on this MACD, and I would not be surprised to see it move higher. On the daily chart, you can see that we have in fact crossed back over. Let's just bring this one in. We have in fact crossed back over the 5 through the 20, and this does look like it came right down to about the 5 and closed up on the day and up about 9/10 of the way on the range. So that is impressive. MACD doesn't really mean much on this. It's crossed over, but it's not really falling anywhere near sharply. Okay, so stocks in the news. We have one of our favorites, Starbulk, SBLK. They report tonight after the close, but they have not reported yet. The stock is 23. It was up 37 cents. Arista Networks, ANET, they beat top line, bottom line, gave inline guidance, and the stock, which closed the day at 281.06, down $1.39, continued lower all the way down to 255. Last is 263. That's down $19.50, 6.7%. Waste management was down 57 cents at 188.29. I have not seen their earnings, but they're supposed to come today after the close. Avis, not Hertz, Avis Budget, CAR, closed down 44 cents at 168.44 and fell as low as 158.66, but came right back and is trading right now 167, down $1.88, so $1.40 lower on the earnings. Goodyear Tire, GT, closed 1365, up 19 cents. It traded both higher and lower. Traded up to 1407 on the headline, which was a beat, and traded down to 1275. Came back a little bit and is trading 1315. So that's down about 50 cents on the day. Vornado, VNO. This one is real estate, primarily New York and secondarily San Francisco, which is problematic. Closed 26.74, up 29 cents. They reported decent numbers. The stock ran up to 29 and a half and has since settled back down to 27.30, up 85 cents. This one is um, solidly dependent on interest rates. There's a lot of commercial real estate. As I said, it's in two not terrific markets. And the bottom line here is this is a stock to be careful of vis-a-vis interest rates. If you think rates are going back down, great. Maybe this is the one for you, but it also is heavily commercial. And so, unless you believe that everybody's going back to work in house, there are going to be problems here. And our disaster du jour, ANTX, AN2 Therapeutics. They halted a phase 2 and 3 trial for an irreversible lung cancer drug, and the stock is trading $5.14, and that's down 14.86, or just a scant three quarters, 70%. Very ugly. Back to the futures, the gold was slightly lower. Nat gas continues to go down, 177 down 8, and I think that this one's getting ready to bounce here, although I'd rather wait and see. And Bitcoin, as I showed you on the chart, 50,465, up 2,695. And so that one adds to MSTR, MicroStrategy, which bottomed 4 days ago at 467 and closed today 717. So a hell of a move there in 4 days, leaving two gaps on the way up, and possibly a third one today, depending upon how thick your pencil is. The high on Friday was 648.90. The low today was 650.17. So that's the third gap up. All right, folks, I'll be back first thing in the morning with those numbers on the CPI, and we'll have another party tomorrow. Have a good one.